Hi everybody, it's me Brandon. Thank you for joining me today for another video. Today I'm doing a different type of vlog or video. I am doing a product review, and as you can see, it is on my head. You've probably seen this elsewhere. This video, by the way, is not sponsored by any company. I paid for this device, but I really wanted to give you a sort of review of my first impressions of using the iRestore Professional Light Laser Helmet System. So I actually purchased this. I'm gonna take it off because I already used it earlier today. So I actually have had this for over a year now, and I've been using it as really a prevention strategy, not necessarily a treatment, but I have been using it for just prevention and to see if it can help to grow thicker, fuller hair at all. And I just really wanted to do like an overview of what I have come to know in regard to like my results, or what I perceived as my results. Again, using this as prevention and not treatment. So my results, my perception of the results will be different if you're using it for part of a holistic management strategy to androgenetic alopecia or any type of hair loss that you're trying to combat. So I have, like I said, the iRestore Professional System, and this one actually, I think I paid extra for the portable battery so that you could just take it on the go. You don't have to sit with it plugged into the wall, and that is very convenient for my life. You just have to charge this portable battery, and it has quite a bit of uses in it, so you don't have to charge it as frequently, but that has been great. And the Professional System also came with a shampoo and a conditioner. I haven't opened the conditioner yet, but I have used the shampoo infrequently, just usually when I'm using the device. But the reason why I actually spent money on this was because there are clinical studies out there showing statistically significant benefits to using this device and inducing hair growth. And so I was really captivated by the studies, and also just by not just studies on this device specifically, but just in general on red light and low level laser therapy. So presumably it works by photobiomodulation, and it does this by stimulating the mitochondria that's located in the hair bulge cells. And there's a specific target chromophore for red light that the red light targets called the cytochrome C oxidase. And then this leads to mitochondrial respiration, which leads to or results in reactive oxygen species as well as ATP that activates cellular proliferation. So that's basically quote unquote the gist of the science of sort of what I guess the foundation on which red light laser, low level laser LLLT devices are built on. And so I was really captivated and fascinated by the science. And so I thought, well, there's a money back guarantee. Again, this is not sponsored. This is not a sponsored video, but there is a money back guarantee after a year. If I don't like it, I can send it back and get all my money back, and it'll be just fine. And then I could probably keep the shampoo and the conditioner. But it's been over a year, and so I haven't taken it back, and I wanted to just give you my thoughts. Again, this is prevention. This is not a treatment or a management strategy for me. I did feel like I noticed some effects with it, especially right off the bat. So what the device is supposed to do, what low-level laser therapy photobiomodulation is supposed to do, is supposed to prolong the anagen or the growing phase and really shorten that shedding phase. But initially, just like with topical minoxidil, sometimes it can sort of paradoxically, in a sense, increase the shedding temporarily at the beginning. And so it's just pushing out the sort of the older hair so it can make room for the newer hairs to grow. And then and then once those new hairs come in, there's that prolongation of the growing phase, of the anagen phase. And that's sort of kind of the idea of what the devices are built on, that it helps to catalyze or capture that photobiomodulation benefits so it can increase the growing phase of the hair cycle. And what I noticed was I did indeed feel like I was getting shedding when I first started using the device. And that was when I was using it every other day for 20 to 25 minutes per session. So the preset is 25 minutes because I think that's what they recommend. And it just automatically goes to 25 minutes, and you just use that 25 minutes up each session. And it's recommended to do it every other day, no more than that, because then that might, actually, I don't know. They haven't really given a reason why you shouldn't do it every day. I would assume that it might just increase shedding by a significant amount and cause adherence to plummet. But you know what? I did do it every other day, and I did it for about 20 minutes, and I did feel like I was seeing more shedding than, is normal. I mean, it's normal to lose about 100 strands of hair a day for healthy people, for healthy individuals, But it's just like sometimes you notice it and you're like, wait, am I having intelligent effluvium, or like am I having some sort of like event that's causing this? And the only thing I could think of was the device. And so I pulled back on it. So my adherence definitely decreased with the device. So I pulled back and I started using it maybe once a week. And then it turned into like once a month, and then like every now and then. So I haven't really been super adherent to the device. Over time, I have noticed that my hair has looked and felt thicker and stronger and fuller throughout. And again, this could be sort of a placebo. It's really hard to know if you're not like in a laboratory getting your hair tested and you're not in a clinical study and they're taking photographs and they're having dermatologists or just basic, just research scientists actually looking and grading and marking the changes in the hair growth and the pattern. But again, my perception was that yes, indeed, over time, even though I had that initial sort of shedding moment that I felt like it was shedding, over time my hair does feel and look thicker and fuller. And it's really hard to know, again, if it's because of this device that I use infrequently, like I do not even use it once a week, maybe once a month, for 25 minutes, just one session. It's hard to know if it is indeed this, or if it's my diet, my nutrition, my overall lifestyle, my genetics. It's hard to know, but I do know that there is a good amount of research. There's still more research that needs to be done, especially long-term research with more participants per study, because there are quite a few studies, but some are small sample sizes. So I would think that hopefully we can have more data over time to really know for sure conclusively that this will work for really promoting hair growth in all individuals, because again, a lot of it is geared toward people with androgenetic alopecia. So that's basically male pattern baldness. And that basically occurs when 5-alpha reductase, which is an enzyme that converts testosterone into DHT, dihydrogen testosterone. And that is the more aggressive form of testosterone that contributes to hair loss. And that can occur in both males and females. So I think that, this is really what it's geared toward. And I think that if you do have that issue, I think it would definitely be prudent to follow the advice of the manufacturer and definitely just do what they do in the clinical studies, because I know in the clinical studies they definitely used it every other day for that 20 to 25 minutes per session. But for me, I think for prevention, I definitely feel like I could use it maybe once a week or once every other week, or just like infrequently when I feel like I just want to do it in conjunction with other things, eating foods and having nutrition in my diet that are natural inhibitors of 5-alpha reductase, of this 5-alpha, this enzyme that breaks down and converts the testosterone into that DHT. And exercise and healthy lifestyle and stress management, things like that. I think that that's really important as well in conjunction with this as a preventative strategy. You know how I feel about red light therapy when it comes to skin and skin health. Again, I think there are fantastic studies showing the promise and the benefit to red light in improving collagen synthesis and elastin, and even to a certain extent lifting the face and providing just facial rejuvenation. I think it's really, really promising. But again, it would be more convincing overall, I think, if there's just more data and more studies. And there are more studies being conducted every single day on photobiomodulation when it comes to hair loss and when it comes to rejuvenation, skin rejuvenation. So that's what I personally want to see. But again, I definitely will continue using this. And again, I'm not sponsored by this company, but I do love the promise of it. And I do love the research and the science behind it and the data. I will leave some references down below of research studies, even some meta-analyses that just sort of pull all the data from different randomized clinical trials together, so you can just sort of like read a summary of sort of all the studies to date, or at least to date of that publication, so you can just get a good background and feel. And that's honestly what I did before I even bought this. It took me a few months before I actually bought this, because I think the professional is like $7.95 maybe. I mean, it is a high price point. But it's definitely something that, I had confidence in based upon the research that's out there. And again, for prevention, I think is really important. I'm all about prevention. I'm all about getting ahead of things, no matter what it may be. I think that's really important. So, it depends on if you find the value in that. And if you don't, if you just want to go sort of the pharmacologic route, you definitely can talk to your dermatologist or your clinician about things like that, because there's definitely other options out there. I liked this aspect, again, as prevention, because it's not a medication and there aren't, you know, potential side effects, and you just do it like once every other day, or in my case, like once a month, and then you just do it 25 minutes and it's natural, and there you go. So I hope this sort of video was somewhat helpful. I hope it at least explained a little bit about the technology and about the science behind it. And, you know, if you're thinking about getting it, just read the research and come up with your own conclusions. Again, I'll leave the references down below in the description section. And if you like this video, definitely hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you here. And until next time, I hope you have a good one. Bye.